you know, the,
$15 million. And he won over 70. He won $72 million. Dímelo a otra semana más, la semana 10 de la NFL con el pana Ozzie Jr. Yo soy Jim Rodríguez. Dímelo.
¿Qué pasó, mi pana? Mira, la semana 10, esto está volando. Mañana tengo que pararme temprano para el primer partidazo que vamos a tener, súper temprano, pero está volando.
Sí.
Esta temporada, no sé si me está yendo bien, estoy como todavía con un récord de 500, pero ahí vamos, con buenas selecciones para esta semana.
Buenos humos y buenas vibras, and obviously, oye, todo el mundo le sacó, everybody got the hoodie, todo el mundo, we all got the hoodie. Oye, tú estás en Chicago que hace frío, yo estaba en Ciudad de México que había un frío, y yo dije, ¿qué es esto, caballero? ¿Quién dejó la ventana abierta? Yo soy de Miami, pero me encanta porque estábamos en Acapulco, y yo estaba sudando con un calor, y me dice, oye, pero tú eres de Miami. Y yo, pana, pero hay esos calores en Miami también, ¿qué? Calor es calor. And when you're a big man, sudas la gota gorda. Mira, vamos a arrancar aquí. Hoy vamos a tener un invitado especial. Mike Ruga is going to join us en el tercer segmento. We popped his gambling cherry, Ozzie.
No sé si eso fue bueno o fue malo, pero en mi mundo es perfecto porque ahora está dando los pequeños pasos. He's doing his little step by step. Y he's doing it right, aprendiendo qué jugar, cómo jugarlo, aprendiendo las reglas. Creo que es lo más importante cuando tú estás haciendo un sports wagering antes de ver analíticas y obviamente qué equipo te gusta, es ver cómo hacer la forma correcta, ver los números, ver los tipos de apuestas que tienen. Mike lo está haciendo muy bien.
Oye, viene el mundial, viene el mundial, so hay que estar pilas, batteries. All right, so vamos a arrancar la 10 del NFL. Tenemos 6 partidos. 3 partidazos, 3 perritos. Y vamos a empezar con el partidazo. Y vamos a ir a Alemania, a Múnich, para los Seahawks y los Buccaneers. Y cuando yo te iba a decir a ti que esto debe ser un partidazo, cuando se leo la agenda, no me ibas a creer, pero los Seahawks, acabando con medio mundo, marca las 6-3. Y Tampa Bay 4-5, pero también en primer lugar. Son 2 equipos en primer lugar de sus divisiones en Alemania, y los Buccaneers son los favoritos, menos 2.5 con el total de 45. Dímelo, Ozzie.
Mira, no sé por qué los Buccaneers son los favoritos, no sé, no me explico eso, ¿ok?
Falta de respeto, caballero.
Yo creo que una falta de respeto también creo que ven, obviamente es Tom Brady, ¿ok? Es un equipo que viene de ganar un Super Bowl no hace mucho. Seahawks no era un equipo favorito empezando la temporada, pero están jugando un fútbol increíble, ¿ok? Han ganado los últimos 4 partidos, juegan muy bien, mueven la bola muy bien. Creo que la historia es Geno Smith. Ahorita, hoy por hoy, si tengo que escoger quién es el mejor mariscal, es Geno Smith. Ha jugado muy bien, ha completado, ¿ok? Ha tirado más de 2 touchdowns en 3 juegos consecutivos, ¿ok? Mi primera apuesta es esa. Quiero Geno Smith más 1.5 en los touchdowns lanzados, y creo que lanza por la alta de las 241 yardas fácilmente, porque creo que Geno Smith va a lanzar la bola. Tom Brady es Tom Brady, pero tiene problemas, su equipo no está al 100% saludable. Viajar a Múnich, llegar a un sitio donde están acostumbrados, creo que el equipo con más salud gana. A mí me gustan los puntos, ¿ok? De los Seahawks, pero también me gusta el money line de los Seahawks, porque yo, en mi opinión, pienso que los Seahawks ganan este partido sin los puntos.
Sí, cuando yo vi esta estadística, Ozzie, me agarré la peluca. Tom Brady contra Geno Smith. Obviamente Geno jugó con los Jets. Tom Brady nunca le ha ganado a Geno Smith. 0-4. Increíble. Geno Smith invicto en 4 partidos contra Tom Brady, y cuando arrancó la temporada los Seahawks estaban 500-1 para ganar el Super Bowl. Han bajado a 35-1. Yo creo que hay mucho aquí, pero es Tom Brady, y te voy a decir una cosa, el partido, porque es en Alemania, lo siento, para mí es como un Super Bowl, porque es algo, una semana, un estadio que también no conocemos. ¿Y quién hace esto mejor? Tom Brady. Yo creo que los Buccaneers ganan, los Buccaneers cubren el número, Yo creo que esto tal vez le va a quedar un poquito grande a Geno Smith. No le quiero faltar respeto, no le quiero quitar todo el crédito. Ha tenido tremendo año, pero creo que los Buccaneers van a estar madurando cómo va la temporada. Yo creo que los Buccaneers ganan este partido y los Buccaneers cubren el número.
Bueno, ahí estamos, tenemos ahí el primer juego rival. Yo creo que Geno Smith obviamente tiene un gran partido, creo que cubren los puntos, ellos ganan el juego obviamente con los puntos que le está dando Tampa. Obviamente no es bastante puntos, pero obviamente creo que cubren con los puntos y tal vez tienen el chance de ganar el juego. Creo que este es un juego muy grande para Seattle. Si Seattle llega a ganar este partido, sí. Algo que me impresionó mucho, el dinero. ¿Dónde están jugando el dinero? Mucho dinero se está jugando obviamente del lado de Tampa, en el sentido que obviamente todo el mundo está viendo esas estadísticas, pero este año ha sido un año de sorpresa y creo que en Múnich se va a dar una.
Sí, oye, yo no creo que en Alemania han visto un tipo masticar chicle como Pete Carroll. Esto va a ser algo eso. Ok, el segundo partidazo. Y oye, esto, otra cosa. Minnesota visitando a Buffalo. Los Vikings, 7-1, 6 victorias consecutivas contra los Bills, 7-2. Pero con un lesionado Josh Allen y el número, bueno, los Vikings más 3 puntos, so los Bills son favoritos en casa, Bills menos 3 con un total de 43.
Mira, hace par de semanas los Vikings fueran tenido más 7, ¿ok? La razón que la línea ha cambiado es probablemente la lesión de Allen. Es en el codo, no sabemos cómo va a reaccionar. Independientemente de los Vikings, no soy fanático de ellos, nunca he sido fanático de ellos, tienen un uniforme más feo de la NFL, pero este año han jugado muy bien y han respondido, tienen una buena defensa, saben mover la bola. Creo que Buffalo va a ser uno de los juegos más difíciles para ellos porque los vikingos son uno de los equipos que la gente calladamente han podido producir y uno de los contendientes para ganar el Super Bowl. Creo que los puntos para Josh Allen se le va a hacer difícil, ¿ok? Creo que todavía gana el juego Buffalo, pero no creo que Minnesota se deje ganar. Creo que Buffalo no cubre los puntos. Creo que Minnesota cubre los puntos. Gana Buffalo, pero Minnesota no cubre los puntos. Es un juego muy pegado, en mi opinión.
Te voy a dejar con este numerito aquí. Los vikingos, Minnesota ha ganado 6 juegos consecutivos, ¿no? Han cubrido el número solamente 2 veces en esos 6 partidos. Me gusta en este partido, me encanta el total, más de 43 puntos. Yo sé que Josh Allen está lesionado, pero esa ofensiva todavía es una máquina y los Vikings pueden anotar puntos también. Yo voy a elegirme un poquito, alejarme un poquito del número, pero me encanta el total más de 43 puntos. Creo que vamos a hacer un poquito ofensivo. Y Kirk Cousins está en su momento. Yo siempre, cada vez que apuesto con Kirk Cousins, me aguanto la nariz porque hay una peste ahí, pero vamos con el total más 43. Ok, el tercer partidazo. Oye, esto es escuela vieja, old school. Cowboys, Packers en Lambeau Field. Y viene aquí. Oye, esto ha sido una pesadilla de temporada para los Packers y Aaron Rodgers. Dallas viene 6-2 y Green Bay con marca de 3-6. Okay, es el peor arranque de una temporada para los Packers desde el 2005. Este 3-6. Y los Packers no son favoritos en casa, son los Cowboys, menos 4.5 con un total de 44.
Mira, para mí, Lambeau Field es difícil de ganar. Esto va a ser un juego decisivo en la carrera de Aaron Rodgers. Ya llegan los rumores que sí es tiempo de reemplazar, ¿ok?, al veterano mariscal. Pero creo que la temperatura va a estar fuerte este fin de semana en Lambeau. Están jugando en Lambeau Field. Si tienen la oportunidad de ir a un juego a Lambeau Field, no va a estar fácil ganar ahí en casa. Para ellos van a tener la presión. Yo creo que cubren los puntos los Packers. Tal vez no ganan el juego y al final se separan, pero creo que cubren los puntos. Creo que este es el juego que le da la razón a Aaron Rodgers de terminar en la temporada con los Packers. Si por alguna razón los Cowboys vienen y bailan el piso con ellos, obviamente se pone más interesante el juego contra los Eagles de la semana que viene, pero ya se significa ya the beginning of the end, como dicen, para Aaron Rodgers, y esta temporada no creo que termina con el mariscal si en Lambeau Field vienen y barren el piso con ellos. Así que tengo que ir con Aaron Rodgers, tengo que ir porque están jugando en casa en Lambeau Field, y tengo que ir porque obviamente no son favoritos en su casa, en un terreno donde ellos obviamente dominan. Voy con los Packers y que cubren los puntos.
Vaya, vamos porque acuérdate, Mike McCarthy fue el head coach de los Packers cuando ganaron un Super Bowl con Aaron Rodgers. Él regresa a Lambeau Field como el técnico, el director en jefe del rival. Mira, a mí, yo tal vez no ganan el partido los Packers, pero yo no puedo apostar en contra de Aaron Rodgers, y especialmente si me estás dando puntos. Es el Aaron Rodgers, este es el número más grande de underdog en su carrera en casa. Arrancó +5 primero el partido, ha bajado un poquito, ahora +4.5. Yo voy con los Packers recibiendo los puntos, 4.5, y no me sorprende. Yo tenía que ha tenido problemas que Aaron Rodgers pone un show, 300 yardas, 3 o 4 touchdowns. Eso es lo que yo veo.
Las Vegas, mucho dinero, el dinero y las apuestas, todas están del lado de los Cowboys. Obviamente es un equipo muy, la gente lo sigue mucho en Estados Unidos, alrededor del mundo. Cuando hay mucho dinero de un lado, el dinero, ok, y la apuesta, me gusta más el otro lado usualmente. Voy a hacer lo opuesto que lo que está diciendo el
la palabra más importante en el mundo de la apuesta es contrarian, y hay que ser un poquito contrarian. Ok, ahora vamos a ver los perritos. Vamos a ir a la tienda de los perritos. Yo estaba en Ciudad México hoy y yo estaba caminando y me dice, oye, carnal, ¿qué pasa con los perritos? Me encanta el segmento. Me disparé 3 taquitos, uno del pastor, uno de res, uno de camaroncito ahí, un poquito de limón. Ay, Dios mío, no sé si es tan bueno como Guadalajara, pero me trataron muy bien en Ciudad México. Saludos a la gente ahí. Ok, vamos a arrancar un partido que, oye, ¿quién iba a creer que esto iban a ser los quarterbacks? Son los Cardinals y los Rams. Los Rams en casa, -3 puntos, total de 40.5. Pero tal vez no vamos a ver a Kyler Murray y tal vez no vamos a ver a Matthew Stafford. Va a ser el partidazo de Colt McCoy contra John Wolford. Dímelo, Ozzie.
Mira, me gusta, obviamente cuando vienen los dos equipos con obviamente su segundo quarterback, su segundo mariscal, ¿ok? Arizona es un equipo que obviamente hemos visto toda la temporada que han jugado, se han mantenido en los juegos. Hemos dicho desde el principio, creo que el equipo que hemos hablado peor de todo el tiempo, se pusieron viejos de un día para otro, fue el equipo de California. Así que yo voy a ir con este perro, me gusta, ladra, me gusta la forma que ladra. Creo que cubren el punto, creo que ganan el partido. También pienso que obviamente el lado del quarterback, creo que Arizona tiene obviamente la ventaja de ese lado. Arizona, en mi opinión, mueven la bola mejor, tienen un mejor equipo en general. Por eso me gusta este perrito. Y obviamente este año, cuando ves los números, los perritos, todos los perros han jugado mejor esta temporada.
Sean McVay en su carrera contra Cliff Kingsbury, 11-1, 12 partidos, y McVay ha ganado 11 de los 12 partidos. El único problema es que ha tenido un equipazo con eso. No tiene ese equipazo, pero algo para tener en mente: la defensa de los Cardenales, horrible. Le han anotado más de 30 puntos en 3 partidos consecutivos. Los Cardenales, pésimos defensivamente. Me gusta el total más de 40.5. Yo sé que tal vez vamos a ver 2 backup quarterbacks y no vamos a saber hasta que arranque el partido. No hagan esa apuesta hasta que estés cerca si va a jugar Murray, si va a jugar Stafford. Creo que no va a jugar Stafford. Puede jugar Murray, pero lo que tiene Kyler Murray es un hamstring, no se va a correr mucho. Me encanta los Cardenales +3. Yo estoy contigo y me encanta +40.5 en ese partido. Ok, juego domingo por la noche. Los Chargers visitando a los 49ers, all California, que era Diego to the Bay, como decía el gran Dr. Dre. Y oye, otro perrito aquí, los Chargers visitantes, +7.5, con un total de 45.5.
Mira, creo que este perrito no ladra. No ladra. Creo que no va a poder cubrir los puntos. Son bastantes, obviamente un touchdown, más el field goal, 7.5. Ok, no creo que cubran. Creo que obviamente es demasiados puntos para ellos. No van a jugar mal, pero no cubren. Y también me gusta la baja de este partido, en mi opinión.
Bueno, te voy a decir una cosa. Justin Herbert ha sido un perrito de 7 o más puntos 3 veces en su carrera. Ha cubierto el número las 3 veces.
Wow.
Ok, tres veces ha sido un perrito de 7 puntos o más. Aquí está 7.5 y los 3 veces han perdido los 3 partidos los Chargers, pero han cubrido el número. Me gustan los Chargers más 7.5. Me encanta la baja, como tú dijiste, 40.5, pero yo creo que Herbert va a hacer sus cositas, también un backdoor cover, como dicen, un punto al último momento. Me gustan los Chargers más 7.5. Y acuérdate, uno mira, los Chargers están 5-3, los 49ers están 4-4. Estos no son, no están jugando contra un gran equipo aquí los Chargers. Quiero que tengan un buen chance, pero me gusta los Chargers en el número. Ok, el perrote, el perro. Washington. Caballero. No, la producción está pilas hoy. Washington, the Commanders, con su marca de 4-5. Oye, pero vamos a un momentico. Esa división de NFC East, Ozzie, ¿quién iba a creer? Tienes a los Eagles, los Cowboys, los Giants, hasta los Commanders están 4-5. Los Commanders van a Filadelfia y los Eagles invictos 8-0, pero mira este número. Washington recibiendo 11 puntos. Washington plus 11 con un total de 43.5. ¿Cómo lo ves?
Mira, los Commanders están 2-4 esta temporada contra el spread. Ok, obviamente nunca ha sido tantos puntos como el día de hoy, pero los Eagles están 5-3, okay, contra el spread. La semana pasada eran 11.5 y los cubrieron. Okay, los Eagles vienen a dominar, vienen a anotar, van a jugar al frente de sus fanáticos. Este juego los Eagles vienen y van a dominar por completo. Yo creo que este perro no ladra. Yo creo que los Eagles cubren el punto completo y siguen dominando la temporada como lo han hecho por total. No creo que los Commanders puedan jugar contra ellos.
Mira, Taylor Heineke, una cervecita para Taylor Heineke. Yo creo, mira, los últimos 5 partidos de los Commanders han sido decididos por 5 puntos o menos. Son partidos cerrados y Washington se queda en el mundo de boxeo, están contra las sogas ahí. They're just hanging around. Yo creo que los Eagles ganan, se quedan invictos, pero yo creo que 11 puntos son muchos puntos. Ese perro ladra, Ozzie. Yo voy con Washington. Sí, señor.
Acabo de tomar notas, obviamente, del que acabas de tomar, porque esa estadística que acabas de decir aquí, por eso este show es tan importante y nos puedes seguir aquí siempre en Dímelo, es porque te damos ese análisis. Obviamente, esa estadística que nos acabas de dar tú ahorita, de lo cerca que han sido los partidos, porque muchas veces cuando estamos enfocados, como yo cuando acabo de hacer este análisis, me enfoqué mucho en los Eagles. ¿Qué están haciendo los Eagles?
Sí, claro.
Y no vi, obviamente, el oponente, pero ahora que me pones esa estadística, lo bueno que este juego es el lunes, ¿ok? Es un juego que viene el lunes. Yo siempre juego el domingo completo, dependiendo cómo vaya el domingo en la noche, empiezo a ver el lunes el partido, pero de nuevo va a ser un partidazo porque bastantes puntos, pero igual creo que van a ser 2 grandes equipos y la cosa es cuando tú vienes, lo que me interesa mucho de ese número que acabas de dar es que los Commanders no han jugado contra ningún equipo fácil. Cuando tú ves el schedule de los Commanders, hay varios equipos ahí que son tan buenos como los Eagles, si no mejor, y me pone dudoso este perrito ahora. Igual me quedo con los Eagles, pero ahora estoy dudando de ese punto.
Claro. Y acuérdate, y es un partido entre la división. Estos equipos se conocen. Ron Rivera es un coach que sabe hacer las cosas. Y Taylor Heineke, ese equipo de Washington ha respondido cuando Heineke está jugando. Gana Filadelfia. No lo vamos a equivocar ahí, pero yo creo que va a estar un poquito más cerrado que la gente cree. So yo voy con Washington. Y acuérdate, ese número puede cambiar. Tal vez llegues el lunes, tal vez bajó a 10. 10.5, 9.5, quién sabe, pero yo voy a aprovechar ¡ping! Y lo compro hoy más 11 puntos. Ok, vino la semana pasada, es como Santa Claus, estamos aquí esperando cuando los padres, vamos a ir a Disneyland y toda la semana estás anticipando el hombre de la hora, la familia aquí de Dímelo y de JefeBet.com, Mike Ruga, adelante. Mira para eso. Tienes tu Russell Wilson. Let's cook. What's going on, Mike Ruga?
Hey, what up, though? How y'all?
Loud hat. I like it.
I bought it with the money I got from my parlay last week.
The way, already cashing, making tickets.
Yo,
That's what it is.
Man, you should have never taught me. You should have never taught me how to get.
Safe, I compré para las leche y los pañales.
I even drink with my pinky up.
Que fino, caballero. All right, listen, Mike, before we get going, first of all, our friends at PointsBet make all this possible. PointsBet is a great place to go. You can use our affiliate link. That's how we get on there. We use their numbers, and they're doing big World Cup coverage. And we'll get into that. You know, you can bet all sorts of things on PointsBet, but they're really doing the World Cup. We taught them a little bit of a parlaying last week. But Mike, listen, you obviously, you know, we all came to know you from your time with Nick Cannon and Wild and Out. Tell me, being a comedian, tell me a crazy story. Tell me a crazy that you can share just between you, me, Ozzie, and the millions and upon millions around the world that watch this show. Dame un cuento y tírame un cuento.
As in, like, while I was doing videos?
Yeah, like what's the craziest thing that ever happened to you at a club? You're doing, you know, with a heckler or so. I mean, are there comedy groupies?
Oh yeah, all the time. This group is in everything: golf, comedy, chess. Like even chess players get groupies.
No,
There's groupies in everything.
I guess Take the Queen has a whole different connotation to it. No.
Exactly. You can take the queen in anything as long as you're good at it and you're the best. There's gonna be groupies.
All right, so listen, Ozzie is the Dr. Frankenstein aquí y armó un tremendo parlay. So Ozzie, walk our man through this. What are we doing this week, buddy?
So this week, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the odds. Okay, so when you are on PointsBet, remember again to obviously register your account. You've already done that. Use our sign in to get that free money, those free $500 when you first sign up with PointsBet.
And by the way, that's Mike's money. You can win Mike's money.
You can win Mike's money. So odds display. So when you go on the main page on PointsBet, again, we're going to go on the settings. So let's take one step back. The three lines on the top left-hand corner.
Let me ask you something real quick. For the people who are not familiar with parlays and stuff, right? What is PointsBet?
So PointsBet is the sports wagering book that we are using. PointsBet here, you can see my page right now is showing the Illinois information. Obviously here, Hawthorne Race Course, but it changes within whatever state that you are in. But it is the sports book of your choosing. So we're on PointsBet. You can go to pointsbet.com to find it. And here's where you make all your sports wagering. So PointsBet is the sports book. And inside sports, the sports book, there's different bets that you can make, including a straight up bet or obviously in this situation, a parlay bet.
So PointsBet is one of the many platforms people could go on and bet parlays.
One of the best platforms, because when you're looking at the platforms, not only do you look at the odds, but you look at the options of what types of bets they are giving you. For me, I'm looking at the sport. I'm looking at the odds that they're giving me. I'm looking at the opportunities that they're giving me, what different types of parlay I can take, because I can take a parlay in PointsBet, okay, but I might not be able to take that same parlay in another sports book, okay? So when I'm looking at a parlay, PointsBet allows me to do it across different sports. It allows me to combine different games. It allows me to combine games and plus prop bets. So it gives me a lot of options. And it also, for those of you who are, you know, better at math than others, when you're looking at the lines, and that's what we call lines and the odds, and you know what's the, you know, what money do I have to invest to return? My favorite thing with PointsBet is that when you look down at the settings, it says odds displays preferences. So you can get it with the American, which is the plus and then the number. Okay, so for every $100 that you bet, if it says plus 123, it means that you win $123. If you're better with fractions and decimal, I can change that, and you can see now I'm seeing all of my odds based on fractions and decimals. So depending on how you want to do it, again, same thing with English and Spanish, I can change my preference when I'm looking at it. So the part of a bet when you're looking at to build a parlay, like we told you last week, is that it increases the number okay, for your return on your investment. So right now, this Seattle Seahawks is at plus 125. But we said, you know what? We're going to take Seattle at 2.5 minus 107. Okay, so that 107 now is just not going to be the 107 because I'm going to combine it with a couple other plays that we did here. So I'm going to start my parlay. Okay, then we're going to go to the Buffalo Minnesota game. Okay, minus 3.5. I decided that I was going to take that plus money because I think Buffalo will beat them by more than 3.5. That's at plus 100. So I select that play. Now I got my 2 parlays, and then we're going to go with the Monday Night Football that we were talking about previously, the one that we're all going to take. So I got to find that Monday Night Football game. And I'm looking.
Buffalo, huh?
I got faith in Buffalo. I just bet Buffalo to win that. So I actually think Buffalo's going to win by more than 3.5. So minus 3.5 means that Buffalo has to win by 4 in order for me to cover my bet. I like it because it's plus 100. So even if I was betting it alone, if I bet $100, I would get $100 back. But right here, Jim's might be Jim's pick of the week. You know, minus 107 plus 11. If I select that, okay, now my number has jumped from 100 or so plus 100 if I did that bet alone to plus 648. So if I bet $1,
buddy.
9. If I bet 10, that's 64.85. I bet 100, that's $648 because of the 3-game parlay, 3 very good parlays. And remember, like I reminded you last week, daily boosters. When you select the daily boosters, it gives you that booster for the day. You see $100 jump. If you're betting $1, it's $1 jump. Obviously, $10 jump with the booster on that bet. But this bet right here for $100, whew, not bad at all. Not bad on your return on 3 games that they potentially would probably hit. So that's the power of you betting those games separately.
You still have your bet of Brazil winning the World Cup?
I do. I still have my bet on Brazil winning the World Cup. And when I go up there, the bets part of points bet is that I can see all my bets that I have live, okay, that I have currently opened up. And if I want to add any new bets, I can just go in and see what I've been playing. So all of my bets are saved, from the past that are still in play. I can look at my history, okay, of what I've been looking at. So I can get to mix and match. So I'll go here for soccer.
But here's something I want to see. I want to see Mike's face on this. I want to do a 4-team parlay, okay? All underdogs. Todo perritos. Let's see what that looks like. So let's build something. Let's build like give me like.
That means 14 bets.
That means it's a bet of 4 teams. You can bet as much as Points bet allows you to do as much as it'll tell you what you can do. But so when you have a 5, 6, 7 team parlay, that means that there's 5 bets involved in that. You've got to win all of them. So if we did a 4-team parlay of all underdogs. So let's take, for example, let's take the Cardinals plus 3.
Okay.
Let's take the Chargers plus 7.5.
So let's take the Cardinals plus 3. So right here, so that line moved to 2.5, but it's plus 100. So we'll take it. We'll start the parlay.
Then we'll take the Chargers.
The Chargers right here at 7.5.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's take Green Bay plus 4.5.
Green Bay Packers. Hold on, I'm scrolling. I'm going a little bit too fast for my own good. Here we go. There we go. So Green Bay right now is at 4.5 right here.
Perfect. And then let's finish it off, the little cherry on top, and let's take Washington plus 11. And watch this number jump, Mike.
1,329. So for the $100 bet, I can win $1,329. Yep. And again, hold on. That's not the booster, because if I give it the booster, it just went up 100.
See, that's the idea. So
strip club.
That's it. And then you can probably do the cash out thing that we talked about too, right?
Correct. So if you do the cash for these two with these numbers, Mike, if we did this and we followed it live, okay, while the games are going on, if you hit your first 2 games, you probably could cash out about $700 because of the amount of the odds that they were in. And that's something that I look at when you make the bet, because you're placing a big, heavy bet on here. Again, it's a big return on this parlay, which is really, again, it's a very realistic bet It's a bet that can hit. It's not out of this world. We're not picking a bunch of, last place teams to, win just on the money line. That's why the spread is so important. And again, $100, most guys probably spend this on their Uber and on the first 2 drinks that they bought, themselves with a shot. The way that, the prices out there, you can, with $100, give yourself a nice return, okay, and enjoying 4 games. And with PointsBet, again, you can make this bet with that free money once you opened up your account. So the money, when you open up your account with PointsBet, you're going to get free money in order to start your journey on placing the wager. So you can make a smart bet listening to us here in Dimelooo. And again, it's learning the options. If you don't like the plus and minus, you can always learn the decimals and the fraction, depending on what system that you're in. But that's the excitement on the game. And this is just games. If we jump into player props, which I'm a big proponent on player props of finding the diamonds in the rough. Player props is when you bet on what a player is going to do in one particular game. So let's erase right here the part. Oh, we can make a parlay on a player prop if we wanted to. It's got to be available, depending on when it gets closer to the game. So right here for the Kansas City Chiefs Jacksonville game, we can look at the player prop. So we got for the receiving yards, okay, we got different Clyde Edwards right here for rushing. So you can go over 25.5 yards. So you can select that, okay, and let's go pick another game. Let's go pick another NFL game.
Yeah, like you know what prop I like a lot, Mike? Leonard Fournette of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's not running the ball a lot. So I would take whatever his prop bet is for rushing yards, I would go under. And you can do that because all it is the prop is short for proposition. It's a proposition. Is this going to happen or is that going to happen? And the beauty is you can bet on anything, pal. You can bet on rush yards, carries, turnovers, sacks, field goals made. What's going to be the longest field goal? What's going to be the shortest field goal?
Soccer as well?
Oh, correct.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can pick in soccer who the first goal scorer is going to be, or they're going to be the last goal scorer. Are they going to get an assist? Are they going to get a yellow card? Are they going to get a red card? Are they going to make a
partido, right? I could bet
un partido.
She could do 3 goals in that one.
Correct. You can bet that. You can bet the over/under. You can bet that if Messi scores in the first half. You can bet if Messi's going to be the goal champion scorer. Again, those are all things that, for example, if I was making a bet on Argentina, okay, in the World Cup, Messi will probably be in it for an assist. He'll probably touch the ball at some point when they're scoring in their early games, just because he is that big part of the offense. So this is where, if you are not, watching a sport very closely, this is where our shows kind of give you that insights, because we're doing the homework for you. Our daily picks, when we're on there on our social media, we can give you the daily picks on what we think the prop bets are going to be for that day, or our favorite prop bets, because Jim and I are doing the homework for you previously. So we're looking at what the players are doing. You can do it, again, across any sport. And again, when you're playing a game, I usually focus on one game of the week for prop bets. So I'll have like 3 games that I do a very deep dive on my homework. And that's what I'll do for the World Cup, where I'm not betting every single team in the World Cup, but I'll bet every game on props on teams that I know very well, that I'll obviously be sharing those with everybody here on the show. But that's what I like to do. I like to look at the prop bets, because not only do you have action on the game itself, but you have player props in the game itself. Now you're actually watching for that player in order for you to make that completion. So it's bringing the fantasy world of your fantasy team to another level, where you're now rooting for a player to see the ball moving. And points bets during the live betting, you're allowed to take those bets in game, and you're tracking them. So just a lot of options of watching your game. I watch my game with my phone in my hand. Again, when you register in PointsBet, there is the mobile option, and I watch the game with my phone in my hand, and I'm making my bets, and I'm looking at my wagering, obviously watching the games on TV or at the sports bar, wherever I'm at, but I'm making my wagers, I'm making live bets, and I'm making it come to life. And that, again, this is what the excitement is all about, because I can make a very normal, substantial investment where I can get a huge return.
Yeah, and PointsBet is the best place to do that.
For the guy who recently bet on the Astros winning, that was a parlay?
No, he bet straight up. So that was a futures bet. So that was when he bet that one. I'll give you a look for the NFL. So that's when we were talking about the Seattle Seahawks bet. Okay, when the season opens up, you get to see, okay, what are the futures for a team winning, okay, the Super Bowl, or what are the futures for a team taking, winning the division. So by looking at futures, you're making future bets on what's going to happen within who is going to win a division and who is going to win the Super Bowl. So those are all, future bets taking.
Yeah, like for example, if you
he wants so much money.
Because he bet a lot of money. Because basically, because the futures bet was that this was back in May that the Astros were going to win the World Series, and I believe it was something like 15-1 or something like that, and he bet $15 million.
So I'll give you an example right here, Mike. So right now,
how much you bet?
$15 million, and he won over 70. He won $72 million.
So I'll give you an example right here. So a team right now that is kind of like in the mix to win a Super Bowl, I think they're a very good team. They have they're probably going to win the division. So they're plus 1,400. So I'll just pick that number right there for the purposes of it. And I am going to, I'm going to erase all of it. So I have no bets in there. So my book is clean. So we're going to go with the Vikings, which again, a lot of people will probably take because of that, or the 1,700. Let's say Tom Brady leaves on top. Okay, let's say Tom Brady's going to exit the NFL, riding with a ring. The ring was worth it more now for him than Giselle. It was worth it because he got another championship ring. So again, he's going to be able to make this investment. And let's say you drop $100. On that $100 bet, you're going to win $1,700 because of that $100 bet because of the odds. But let's say you're going to be balling, and let's say, hey, I'm going to drop $10K on that. You're going to win $170,000 with a $10,000 bet on the futures on Tampa Bay. Again,
to win the Super Bowl.
To win the Super Bowl.
And you can do that also in the World Cup. Like, for example, let's say, coming out of a group, let's say you think that Argentina is going to come out of their group, obviously, or you say, I think Argentina is going to play in the World Cup final. As long as they get to the final, you've made your money there.
Correct.
You're predicting the future.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. So for like World Cup, with our breakdown is the first one that I'm looking at is a lot of teams have success, okay, on what's coming in the future, meaning like we want to get to like the final four, the final 8, the final 16. So when you look at right here where it says FIFA World Cup 2022 outright winners, that's straight up who's going to win the World Cup, okay? You have to be holding the title at the end. But for Argentina, okay, that we're focusing on them right now, Argentina World Cup performance. So let's say you're like, okay, Argentina's good. Okay, so they're gonna reach the final. Okay, so that's plus 300. So they're probably one of the favorites to reach the semis. It's plus 160. Okay, so not bad. So again, not a horrible bet. If you combine it, you can get more odds. But let's say you're gonna say, okay, I want to put them that they're gonna win the Group C winner. That's probably going to happen. I would probably parlay this bet right here. But look at the odds for them to qualify coming out of the group. They're basically a guarantee to qualify. So
yeah, right.
Them reaching the quarterfinals, again, they want them to go very, 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 very deep on them. Okay. So this is for Argentina, since they're a favorite, I would look at the other way around. Stage of elimination. Okay. If I think Argentina is going to be eliminated in the quarterfinals, I get a plus 400. If I think they get eliminated in the last 16 teams, I can bet 100 and I can win $200 on that $100 bet. Okay. So depending on where they're eliminated, you could say, okay, they get eliminated in the semis. That's huge. So they can get runner up. So they're like the second place to the World Cup finish. So plus 850. So if you're like a gambling person and not an Argentina fan, and you're like, they're going to get to the finals, but they're going to lose there, you'll be rooting against them because your odds for them to come runner up is actually higher than them winning it all. Okay. So that tells you, happens. Yeah, correct. And Argentina is a fun one because obviously they're favorites. But when you start looking at odds, like for me, the United States is going to be a huge, 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 huge opportunity for me because they're going to be a team that obviously We follow them. They're the team from home, but it's a team that is not favored to win the World Cup, but it's a team that I think might do a great performance in the World Cup because they're underdogs.
I remember you said that last week.
Correct. So when I'm looking at those teams that are going to be underdogs, those odds are a lot bigger. Where if I just bet them to get out of the group, that's huge. That's a humongous bet for us.
USA is going to make it towards the finals, but they're not going to win the whole thing.
I don't think they make the final. If the United States makes the Sweet 16, okay, that's a humongous win. If they get into the Elite 8, that's a humongous win. So I'm looking for the United States right now, and I can't find it. My eyes.
Because you got to remember, Mike, the World Cup is set in groups. Okay, there's groups of 4 teams in these groups, right? And so you're betting that the top 2 teams of each group advance to the next round.
And then they're gonna form another group.
Exactly. Then they start combining groups.
Correct. Once they come out of the group stage, they go into a head-to-head bracket. Okay, so out of the group stage for like the United States, okay, we're looking at it. So if they win their group, because if you win your group, you get a higher seeding. That's a plus 600. If you qualify out of the group, which looks like they should be qualifying, is minus 105. But let's say looking at the elimination, okay, if the United States gets eliminated in the quarterfinals, that's plus 900. If they just get to the semis, they don't even have to win the semis. Just get to the semifinals, that's plus 1,800. Okay, so like if they get to the last 16, you're making plus money already. So again, a long shot for them. So that's a huge number for them. Again, and you can even bet number of tournament goals. And you can look at all the outcomes for the United States. So you're like, the United States is going to score more than 5 goals in the tournament. You're already at plus money. So you can
and you know what's a big bet too, especially for our amigos in Mexico, is will Mexico play a 5th game in the World Cup? It has been forever and a day that Mexico has played a 5th game in the World Cup, because you get 3 games in the group stage because you play the other 3 teams. Then you start getting into the knockout round, but they always seem to get knocked out in that 4th game. Will Mexico el quinto partido? Well, that would be an amazing bet, and that's the stuff you can find at PointsBet as well.
Remember when the coach got kicked out of the own game for yelling too much?
Yeah, so it's that's the beauty of it, because it takes watching games into another level. And then, el quinto partido, I'm sure that's going to be in there as well.
So great bets there. So like they reach the quarterfinals, that's plus 400 money already. That means that they've won that game. So if they get eliminated in the group of 16, that's plus 150. Depending on how they make the semis, look at that. That number gets look at just if they come in second place. So your country can win without even having to win the World Cup.
Yeah, it's the beauty of it. So listen, get on PointsBet, pointsbet.com. Well, use the affiliate link that's in there now and explore, see what's out there. That's the best way to learn. Play, get your favorite beverage, pinky up, go out there, in between sets of your great comedy routine, your concerts, your shows, knocking out shows here on JefeBet and JefeBet.com. Listen, before we let you go, what is your go-to joke? Like if you had to tell a joke that is going to save it, it's going to save the room, what's your go-to joke?
What's Michael Jackson's favorite storm?
What?
El Nino.
Oh!
No, that was
Too soon.
That would be my stand-up one. That would be for the stand-up.
Mom.
Too soon.
Too soon.
It's only been 20 years.
It's only been 20 years. That's what I'm saying. Oh man, listen, Mike Ruga, where can we find you, man?
Man, you can find me at anybody that has a baby mom. You can find me at their house. If you got a baby mom, I'm probably on their couch.
Listen, I would say And keep Nick. I'm gonna keep Nick Cannon's mouth, his name out of my mouth. I don't want him coming over and pulling a Will Smith on me now.
Speaking of other guys, baby mom, babe, my food ready? Yeah. Give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
If I did that, a chancleta would come flying through the air like, whoa.
You gotta be smooth with it, man. You gotta be smooth with it. That's why. What are you doing? Oh.
There it is.
I was joking, man. Damn.
Oh man, Mike Ruga. That's where you can find him. See, that's it. That was me. We love you, boo. We love you, boo. We love you.
You jinxed me.
We love you.
I wasn't even thinking about throwing me a sandal until you said something.